Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Adventures of the Redbane Guild. And here we are. Last we left off, you had just finished up your business on Vakmol Island, finally selling off much of the loot that you had gained in the vault, having a last hurrah aboard the Larkspur before saying your goodbyes to Thicket, Mealy, Kalizas, and a few of the ship's deckhands. You then set off and decided upon Caswin as your destination, first heading for the small port town of Carryford. So there you find yourselves on the day that you left, staring out at the blue winter seas of the Vedran, at the occasional passing iceberg and sea ice. It is mid-afternoon now. The isle has faded into the background just barely. What would you like to do? Bew is currently chewing on
I'd like
some
to
sort
munch something.
Bew is standing there, kind of at the edge of the ship, just looking over, eating some sort of biscuit that he got from Eckert in his in the kitchen.
I don't know. I'm gonna go look out the water.
You do that.
Lorith, you can't do that. That is what I am doing.
I'm gonna look out at the other water on the other side of the ship.
So you just go to the opposite
Go
side.
do something else.
Opposite side of the Larkspur from Bew, exactly opposite from where he's standing. Kind of look back at him.
I think there's enough water for everybody to look at.
That's
having
the
to
same
share.
water. Mine. I started this before him.
What are you gonna do about it?
I hucked the biscuit at him.
Roll a ranged attack.
What are you doing?
Am I proficient in biscuit?
No, it's an improvised. Are you improvised? Are you proficient in improvised weapons?
I don't think so. So that's
No.
only going to come out to dust off the old character sheet. That's only going to come out to a 6.
It falls like just at your feet.
Pick it
I
up.
pick it up and eat it.
Oh no!
It's a little bit wet with his saliva, but you don't notice that until you've already put it in your mouth.
By then it's too late, and the less I think about it, the less it'll bother me.
I'm just
And with that-
standing there watching these two idiots.
And with that, I go up to whoever's piloting the ship because I'm nosy.
Hey, Carrie, your shirt, it matches, it changes, it's like you're like a chameleon.
Oh, holy cow.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm in the mountains.
You're in the mountains. Up on the aft castle of the deck, you find Clara steering the ship right now. It doesn't appear that anyone's up really back there but her. Hi,
Hello.
what you doing?
Being nosy, I guess.
Not much to nose about up here, really. I'm just steering the ship. She goes. Doesn't really turn much when I turn the wheel. Got to turn it a lot, and then it'll go like that and like that. But I don't want to do that because that would throw us off course.
Yes, I imagine that would not be good. It might give you something to do, though. At a new
I mean,
course.
it would certainly be fun, but I'm the one specifically designated to keeping us on course, so can't do it.
Yeah. So where are we?
We are. If you bring up your maps, I'll tell you where we are. In fact, well, I mean, it is the very day of your leaving, so you're still a few miles from where you were. You guys talked about the route a little bit, and basically you're going to take semi close to the rest of those islands, looping down to where Carryford is, which is the northernmost of those two dots on the northeast protrusion peninsula of Caswin, if you see what I'm talking about there.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah. So and she had you guys had talked about it. She said with favorable weather, it would take roughly 12 days.
What's
She says we're actually very near where we just left. It was only a couple of hours ago.
yeah, well, it was worth a shot.
Yes, it was.
Is there anything interesting between here and there? Our destination?
There's not well on our course. We're not going exactly like around each of the isles. We're more going straight-ish, but circling so that if we get into any trouble, we can make port within a couple of days.
Smart.
I mean, there's some cool islands out there. We might find some deserted islands with
Ooh.
this snow and things live on them, maybe like big crabs. I don't know.
Yes. Some monsters with exposed skulls.
That's quite possible. I like skulls.
I
Could
noticed.
collect them.
You could have a skull collection.
Could go have a skull collection.
All the various monsters we've come across.
You know, if the giants hadn't been so nice to us, I should have liked to have got a giant skull.
As morbid as that is, that would be quite impressive.
It would be so impressive. I would decorate my room with it.
It could be your room. Almost.
Not quite that big, but yeah, I could put my head
Very
inside of it
small.
and put the pillow and then my head inside of it, and that would be cool. Love skulls.
All right, then. Well, I'm going to go away now.
Bye.
Bye. I go below decks.
Yeah, you head on below decks. Down there, you find, crewmen going about. Brecken is milling around there, doing this and that, and so is Vissa, and Drasana is about just minding their business.
Okay. I'll go into my area that I exist. And
Your bunk.
yeah, my bunk. And
I'm going to do my best to make a nice drawing of your quarters area for you guys.
that would be
I
one.
should have done that already, and I will do that. Yeah, so you find your bunk, your bed, and there you are. Brecken takes notice, waves over to you. Die.
Hello.
Happy to be underway again.
I suppose it's nice to be moving, but there's not much to do on a ship. Not many villains or monsters that need slaying or
It's not the
gold
thing
to
you're
loot,
best at.
people to steal from.
Well, I'm sure it won't be a day before Drasana has you doing this or that.
Yes, you're right. I should try to hide more.
At that,
Oh, goodness.
you see Drasana's blonde head whip around.
Ah,
I heard my name.
it was
One of
all
you.
it was all Bew. He just left. He was talking all
I
stuff.
don't see Bu. Where is he? I don't see him.
No, he left just before you
Oh.
walked through.
You
I
know,
walk past with a mop in my hand, making it very much look like I'm doing something.
there he is. Look at him with his work ethic. Say
Yeah, he
worth.
said he was going to try to hurry up and do some work before you came along. He said some pretty nasty things.
Did he? Did he really?
No.
Insight check.
I didn't think so. I'd say I've got a few things to move from upper to lower. Can I get some help on that?
Yeah.
You've done quite a bit to earn your place here, but still, you gotta work.
You know, Bew's the one he's much stronger than I am.
I know that, but that's why you need to work out. I could ask Mirwin. She's the strongest of you all, but
This is probably stronger than I am.
I've spent a lot of time with Vissa, and yeah, that's possible.
I gotta know what
I
Mrs.
heard I wish I'd seen it, but I heard that she tackled you straight to the ground and slammed a knife in to the wood of the boat right next to your head. Is that true?
It was pretty close. It was a little, I don't know, maternal instinct going on there. She's thought I was going to kill Bu. Of course, I did try to make it look like I was going to kill Bu.
That is what I heard. Fascinating that she was able to do that.
Yeah, what is this stuff you need moved now? Let's.
Yeah, up here. Come on, follow me. She takes you upstairs, and
I post
there's a
by the stairway, and only so Worth can see the broom. I toss the broom down as Drasana passes by, and just like
she doesn't even notice.
Of course not.
looking at Worth.
She just takes you, and you know she's got a roll of giant rug to bring on downstairs. A couple of crates. One's got wood that you picked up that the ship picked up from the High Islands trading post, with some random rations and sundries in it, and that takes up a good amount of your afternoon. Evening time comes. Mirwin, you guys doing anything?
My brain is still kind of dizzy from the night before.
Yeah, Mirwin's
Oh yeah.
still not 100%. She's
So I'm just kind of sitting there staring off into space.
yeah. You feel a little dazed, and it's not difficult to tell when you see her that excuse me that she is a little dazed.
You still in there? You alive?
Hey. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Okay.
Are we in Casman?
Yeah.
There's still a
Oh, wow.
long way away
That was
from
really fast.
that. Worth, you are just a stirrer, aren't you? Stir things up and
I'm bored. There's no one to lie to or to cheat out of something or to steal from.
yeah.
I have to live with all these people, so I can't.
Can't
Hurt them.
directly
Can't hurt
do
them.
anything to them.
You don't want to steal all the money that you just gave him?
No.
Okay.
Steal it back.
Yeah, you can't really get away when they find out that all the money's gone. And obviously it would be worth if it all went away.
That's true.
They should do
Who else are they going to blame? The monk?
No, I don't steal. Though I would to get you in trouble.
Fair enough.
So you sense that as you sense you're heading south and beginning to bear east, or west, beginning to bear west. Excuse me. You are sort of approaching back the route that you came from Temple Island, and it's late evening when you are closer now to Temple Island than you have been since you were at Temple Island. And Worth, you get a weird headache. Just it's a very sudden
Do I have any sense this has something to do with face deal or
make an
monsters?
Arcana check with advantage.
There's some hink going on.
Well, we're gonna find out if I'm sensing massive amounts of ink. Ooh. I'll roll again just to see if I get. No, the first one was definitely better. What's that? 23 is a 9.
Yeah. You sense the presence of Temple Island, like it's a beacon. You can almost tell how far it is from you, and because you are quite close to it, you just can't quite see it, but you can sense that it is there, almost like a beacon to you.
We were at this little island, so it was somewhere near there.
Okay. I look off into the distance towards the island.
And with your physical eyes, you don't see anything, but in your mind, it's like it's burning out there, and you can tell it is the monolith in the center that you are sensing, not necessarily the island. itself, of course,
Yeah.
but it's the huge amount of face steel that's made all of that strange island happen. And that is what you can sense. And if you were to, if you needed to, you could get in a rowboat and go there based on
The magnets
Just on my
inside.
brain.
based on the magnets in your brain. How do they work?
Can I, if I like tried to,
If you knew that, it would be a direct like correlation between his feelings and that. Yeah, you have spent a lot of time around it, and now look what is happening to you.
that's right, I'm becoming more and more powerful every day.
Do you mention any of this to your friends?
No. I want to go down. Well, I don't know if I want to go to my bunk and try to meditate with the shard and see if that like does anything.
Alleviates.
Yes. So what you guys see is Wareth looks like he might have. It looks like he just bumped his head or something, and he just kind of shakes his head, turns around, heads downstairs, without saying anything to you.
What a weirdo.
Orith is hoping this will somehow increase his face steel powers.
It's not weird that I sneezed like that.
You head downstairs, take the shard, and still connected to your focus, which is your pin. You meditate.
My perkit.
You tune out all other noise of the world. Focus on that one point. And again, like that feeling you had, it's like a conduit, like a pipe opening up to allow more fluid to flow through it. And you feel the ripples in your mind, and then a spike of pain, and then you open your eyes, and it fades after a few moments, but still your vision is a little blurred as you try to stand, and you're a little wobbly, but you regain it after a few minutes.
Your intelligence score goes down by 1.
And you have learned the spell that I put on the item. For the curious, out of character, you learned Mind Sliver.
Ew.
What is Mind
that?
Sliver?
Let me show you.
It's a psychic damage energy.
You drive a disorienting spike of psychic energy into the mind of one creature you can see within range. The target must make an intelligence saving throw. Unless the saving throw is successful, the target takes 1d6 psychic damage. And the first time it makes a saving throw before the end of your next turn, it must roll a d4 and subtract the total number rolled from the save.
Decent little ranged attack. And it's a cantrip, so.
Yeah.
Now, not only can you be sneaky, stab, physically,
Sneaky
but you can do
mind
it to the
stab.
brains too.
You're technically multi-classing into
Classing into-
sorcerer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically.
Technically, but this is like Nick's homebrew thing.
This
So
is completely homebrew, and it's going off the rails, in an intended way. I've planned this out, and I know where I'm taking it, and I've got similar plans for you other two, but I can't tell you what it is yet.
Well,
I
James
can't
thinks
tell you
it's
what it is yet.
sexy.
I want to see Bew with face steel powers,
It's not necessarily that, but it's.
but I want to see it.
I want to see it too.
if Bew was to tap into that, he would technically have one cantrip because of just being a fawn.
That is true, yeah.
But because he So he technically has Hink in him. He just doesn't. He hasn't tapped into it.
Got potential.
He hates it.
Hmm. So the night falls, goes by. Mira, when you sleep fine, ish, in that you don't have any more incidents. You don't sleep particularly well, but it's okay. You wake feeling okay, like you need a drink and some breakfast. The second day dawns.
Like every day.
Are you guys doing anything important, or just want to pass on? That's what I need to do. The weather is pretty clear today. It is windy, but in the right direction. And you get a decent amount of speed going up on the decks. You can feel the rush of the wind, and it really brings up a whoosh on either side of the ship as it cuts through the water of the winter seas.
I want to actively hide from Drasana.
Make a stealth check. One for the day.
21.
Yeah, you kind of monitor Drasana's presence throughout the day, and you just duck her wherever you can. She doesn't find you.
Yeah.
A couple times you get the sense that she might be looking for you, but she doesn't pursue it too far.
Worth is pleased.
So day 2 passes. Day 3 passes. The 4th day, it is just past noon. When please make perception checks.
Ooh, I rolled the same thing.
22.
5.
Come on.
You two are oblivious to anything going on, Worth and Mirwin and Bew. Worth, however, you see something kind of weird off the starboard side of the boat all afternoon. It's kind of a moving shape in the far distance. It looks like, is it an island, like a small island from this distance? But it's definitely moving and shifting.
Is there anybody like any of the boat people nearby?
You see, the regular suspects are milling about. You see Drasana kind of at the stern of the boat. Red is over at the table he often sits at, and Clara, Clara. She's is currently at the helm.
I'll go up to Clara and be like, what's that thing over there? I'll point it out.
Thing in the way.
Over there, the thing that the narrator just told us about.
The what?
They're like, you see that thing over there off to the starboard, I think it was? Little...
This squints.
James, you're being awfully dumb.
Who's James?
What is that? What is that? And she sticks fingers in her mouth and makes a loud the kind of whistle that I can't make.
Maybe.
And you hear a voice from way up above. Oi! And she says, Alzim, what's that? And you see your little fanboy elf up there train a spyglass off to the starboard side. And he says, ooh! Uh-oh! And he yells out, he goes, Kraken!
Oh, crap.
Oh, that's a Kraken. We're going to steer away from it.
Yeah, that's
And
a good idea.
she pulls out a spyglass. I don't know why I didn't think of pulling this out before. She hands it to you.
Yes, I want to look, definitely.
You check out this thing through the spyglass, and what you see is it's about a small island-sized mass of tentacles, which seem to be feeding on an immense bloated whale corpse. You see some bones sticking out, some kind of unidentifiable whale, and you see its suckers and its arms and its tentacles just feeding this flesh into its waiting toothy maw that you see appear a couple of times, just rows and rows of teeth around this central orifice, and it consumes this thing. Yeah, we're going to want to stay away from that. Why don't you go and tell everybody about this, just so they know what's going on and why I am taking us the long way around. Okay.
Absolutely. Before I go, though, just out of curiosity, if that thing were to attack us, would we stand any chance at all?
Well, we would try to spook it off with the blister there. That could work. It could work, or it could not work, and there is very little way of knowing whether it will work or not until we try it. I guess Valdemar's a good shot. Shot.
All right, then. Off I go to tell the people.
He'd probably like it. He'd probably be interested and like it and want to shoot at it and things. If I want to just avoid it, okay.
I specifically avoid Valdemar, and I'll go tell Nikolai and Graziella and other people I see on the way.
You had previously seen Nikolai, or you'd seen Graziella go back into her cabin. And you see a couple of other people along the way, and you freak out a couple of deckhands.
Nice.
And Graciela actually exits her cabin as you are about to come up and knock on it. She says, "Oh, buongiorno.
Greetings.
What can I do for you?"
We spotted off in the distance a kraken.
A kraken?
A kraken, a massive kraken.
Fun. Well, let's go take a look at it, shall we?
Let's, yes.
You two as well have recently heard the call of everybody shouting "Kraken" like it's fire, and yeah, what do you do?
What is?
Oh, I'm gonna go see what all the hubbub is about.
Yeah.
You
I
rushed
have
above
not
decks.
Heard of this word before?
Yes, you
Is
have,
it a
because
name
we
of a
talked
thing?
about it.
Did we?
Yeah, when we first got on the boat, we were asking people, and the three people that were the gunners, I think, was it them or somebody else that was telling us about they saw a kraken once?
No, no.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the player character just kind of makes stuff up, whether he thinks that he should know about that or not.
Also, you helped a giant capture baby krakens.
Well, we did that. He wasn't with us.
That's right. But you did talk about it to him afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
But he was sick. He probably didn't pay attention.
Yeah, he didn't
it was
remember.
hilarious.
Yeah, you can just pretty much write off everything that happened before this. Don't remember my sister's name.
What is your sister's name? You hear this, who seems to appear out of nowhere all at once.
Well, I will tell you that information as soon as I pull up that file from my.
Oh, I think you said it was Ravel or something like that.
That's right. It is Ravel. Thank you.
That's a pretty name.
Ravel. Mm-hmm. No, she would be. How old are you, Vissa? You're 18.
18?
Yeah, she'd be a couple of years younger than you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I should like to meet her.
Yeah, well, we're
Lives in
going to
Casman, right? In the Highlands?
Yeah, we would have to get off the ship and then go way up in the mountains.
I like the mountains.
Well, no, they might not be way up in the mountains at this point. It's hard to say. They kind of travel with the bees.
You've now arrived above decks where the panic of the deckhands and sailors and Drasana trying to herd them all kind of distracts you from that. And you walk over to where their attention is directed off the starboard side of the ship. And they pass around a spyglass. You each get a turn and you see this writhing mass of tentacles consuming a carcass of a whale. Not a few miles off the starboard side of the boat.
Gross.
Yeah, there's the thing.
Very, very large.
Yeah.
That is horrible. Is it going to come after us?
Probably
as
not.
long
Not if we
as,
stay far away from it.
Yeah,
Let's hope
as long
not.
as it doesn't catch a whiff of the Kraken babies that Warith has on him.
I don't have Kraken babies. All we helped to do was find lures for the Kraken. We didn't help catch Krakens.
And then you stole some for yourself, and you've got them in your bag, and that mama is going to catch a whiff and come over here and kill all of us.
No, he has a
Make
baby.
sure to throw you in first.
She has a baby wyvern, not a baby kraken.
Hasn't hatched yet. Shush.
Just a second. All right.
You shush.
I was shushed. Thank you very much. I'm always shush.
Right.
So at this point, apparently Valdemar's caught wind of it. He, along with the rest of the gunners, Elizabeth, Marquez, and Ashes, rush to the guns and load them just in case. Valdemar says, "Oh, don't fire unless it knows that it sees us. You know, I like how I like to hunt big game, but just load them just in case. We've got young people aboard." So they load in bolts to the ballista.
Valdemar is just my favorite. he
And
just
he
just has a way with saying things and doing things. He's entertaining, you know.
stands up on the platform with the cranks and the trigger at the ready. He says, "Yeah, just bring it on. Just bring it on, you big, beautiful bastard. I will cut off your arms and eat them."
So, Valdemar, is there think there's anything valuable on Krakens? Could you sell pieces of them, like their teeth?
Oh yeah, if you could sell a Kraken's tooth, you could not imagine the profits, especially if you had lots of them, and you can sell the flesh and the sucker cups, and the Krakens don't make ink. I was going to say ink, that's a squid thing. These are so big that they don't really have any predators. So, but you can sell things of them, and even the bodily fluids and things.
Nice.
But ideally, we don't want it to come after us.
I suppose not. I don't recommend dying.
No. Somebody's looking at a Kraken stat block right now.
No.
Because he's making the face that I made earlier.
Is it bad?
Yeah.
We don't want to go near this thing, man.
I really think it would kill us all.
And-
There's no way to know whether any of this information that I just saw is real or not in this world. But man, it's a CR rating of 23.
No time context for that, but okay.
We are maybe on a good day CR rating 10.
Like as a group?
Challenge rating.
Yeah, challenge rating. Like
Okay.
it's a way to balance parties versus creatures. A lot of things in Nick's world have not been the standard stat block, but
I'd say it's slightly.
There's no way
it's
to
a
say.
slightly modded stat block, but I don't want to spoil it all. But the good news is,
we have a ship to fight the thing.
and
And we're
also,
going away from it.
and also due to like some deft and some deft steering and navigation by Clara, she this big thing does not take notice of you. It's already got its prey. So,
I can't ask any of these questions because it doesn't.
You can ask him after the session.
Not in character. I can't ask any of these things because View has no idea.
Well, ask me out of character later. But it already had its meal, so Clara had advantage on any checks she had to make to avoid it. and you do make a wide berth around it, but you get by and leave it behind you. And on the fourth day of sailing, which, keeping a close eye out behind the ship for the rest of the day, you find that it has not followed you or anything like that. So you continue off to the fourth day. Well, there's a little rough on the fifth day, and you don't make it quite as far as you would have. There's a little bit of snow, sleet gusting in from the north, and it gets you a little bit off. We'll say days 6, 7, 8 go by just fine. Day 9, the weather is not good at all. This morning you wake up to dark skies, and the rough seas awaken you. Really, this rocking of the ship. And when you look out upon the waters, they seem to heave and swell like they're trying to suck you down into the sea one moment and throw you into the air the next. Make some con saves.
Of course.
Yeah, baby. Ooh. 13.
22.
22.
Pen.
8.
You, Mirwin,
Oh.
you weather it okay. Worth, you do all right. You do all right. You don't get too seasick or anything. You get a little wobbly and a little bit thalassophobic from all of this deep, swelling blue water.
I love that subreddit.
And the horror of what might be lurking down there. But you survive it. You're okay. But that loses you a day of travel in total with the weather. And the final days go by with not nearly as much incident as that. Some days it snows. But you arrive after 14 days, so exactly 2 weeks of travel from the day you set out from Vakmol Island. And on this day, it is clear and sunny and shining. And you approach the northern, from the north, the eastern part of Caswin, and you catch sight of the mainland of your homeland for the first time in many months. And you see the tall, rocky cliffs of the shore. The puffins are also prevalent in on this area as well. And you get in the coast rounding the north until you see the opening to a fjord. Approaching this passage, it narrows and then widens a little bit, waves back and forth almost like a short river. Through this
He was
passage,
just out watching the landscape.
you feel an awe of seeing these somewhat familiar shores again at last. Though you probably might not have been here before, it still feels a homey familiarity to know that you are back in Caswin. You see the high-walled cliffs and steep shored hills whose trees are covered in fresh snow. And eventually, a mile or so in, you see a little town nestled right in the crook where this fjord terminates, and the landscape becomes a wintry veil fading into the country beyond. Though it is busy, or though it is winter, the docks there are mildly busy. A smattering of fishing boats trawl the waters of the bay, coming and going in and out from the ocean into the fjord, docking and undocking, unloading their hulls for the day. And let's get that up. Let's get up a map.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
Claire sang that last.
Well, I sang it this week.
And you arrive from the north into this town of Kerryford. So you see those docks there. The rest of the town, it kind of ascends a little bit like the village on Vakmol did, but not quite as steep.
Hey, this map generator.
Yeah,
So
this is
good.
a good map generator.
So good.
You pull up and dock in the Vormaden docks district. This town, yeah, like I said, it rises a little bit. The houses are much more Keswinic in the style than you've seen. Some of them free standing with their nicely sloped roofs and not worked wood. Some of them are more built into the hillside with grass roofs, and with even some with plants growing out of them. Though it is winter and covered with snow, you can tell that they're built with earth on top. And at the top, upon a hill, is a modest castle, Hafnar's Keep, as you'll see on there. It's basically just a square castle with crenellations along the top, and then one larger, taller tower beside it. And the wall surrounding it is all wood, of wooden palisade and palisade towers as well. And that's the town. And at that point, let's take a quick break.
Let's do that.
I'm almost out of paper.
Me too.
Glad we can never buy another notebook again.
Look at how little I have left in this journal.
Oh, that makes me feel kind of special that you've written so much stuff down that I've talked about.
I just packed the blank journal away and moved it over to the other house, so I'm gonna have to go bust that box open.
Okay, we're back. So the Larkspur pulls up, takes care of the docking, slangs down that gangplank, and you see the docks district. It's much like any docks district in any old Caswinic town. Merchants and fishmongers, women cleaning and scraping fish and throwing them into barrels, people working on nets and such. You see mainly a mix of human and orcs doing this work, fishing and working the boats. There's a small repair dock, it looks like, working on some holes in the sides of a couple of boats.
Is there a general store or a place where provisions can be bought?
You look around, there's a few shops in this area. One of them, there is a sign out front. It says Fjordland General Store out front. It's a kind of a faded green lettering on a even more worn sign, but it's still hanging.
I'll turn to the other two and say, I want to run to that store real quick. I just want to check something, and yeah, you're free to come.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I'm just gonna go real quick.
I will go as well.
Yeah, we'll go with you.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
A few others head off into have already head off into town and continue heading off into town, kind of emptying the ship a little bit. You guys head off and down there, and it's just a short walk to this low building.
I'd like to go
Single
into
door
that
in the front.
store.
Yeah, you walk on in, and what you see in here is it's a pretty well kept shop, and a counter at which sits a female human, perhaps early 30s, her blonde hair worn in several intricate braids. Her clothing is a bit finer than you might expect for around here. A nice dress with flowing sleeves, nice good stitching on the bodice. She wears a thick leather belt with several small daggers hanging about on it. And you see, barrels and crates and what look like she sells various foodstuffs and such on counters. There's a interesting barrel where it's a large barrel full of water where you see a couple of things bobbing up and down in it that look like turtles. You see bundles of herbs and such that are for sale, all that.
I'm looking around. Do I see any, just right offhand, the smaller kegs of phonic mead? Are there any of those around here? We would normally sell to, no, they would end up here maybe.
You don't see him right off the bat, but when you enter, she greets you. Hello, all.
Hello. How are you?
I am well. How are you all?
We're doing good.
What can I help you with today?
Yeah, well, out of curiosity, it has been some time since I've been on Kazwin. And
Well, welcome back.
yeah, it's good to be at least here. Do you have any phonic mead by perchance?
I may have a bottle or two. I
Yeah.
don't have any of the kegs left. I sold those off to a trader a few days ago. Let me check my personal stock for you to see what I have.
Thank you.
She
Yeah, thank you.
dips in the back, and a minute later she comes out with a very familiar looking bottle. It's a dark glass. The label on it has some phonic writing on it, and you recognize it to be a red mead, one of the very nice honeyed meads mixed with a little bit of berry. He says, I've got the red mead.
Is it super familiar, or is it just some?
You're familiar with the brand, though you couldn't name the people who made it, or
Okay.
Not sure if you've had it before.
Yeah, I'd pay about anything for my own, but
Can I interest you in it?
yeah. Well, how much are you asking for that?
Oh, this is good stuff, but not.
Yeah.
No, I give it to you for 8 silver.
Oh, yeah. That'll be fine.
Drink. There you go.
I'll hand her gold, but want change back.
Certainly. As you hear her flip open the lid of a chest beneath the counter, plinks down a couple silver pieces for you. What else can I get you all?
Would you be interested in buying? I have some silver bars here. I don't know how much you would pay for them.
Silver bars. Interesting. What else have you?
That is all I'm currently interested in selling.
I would pay you. I'd pay you 30 gold for them.
For
each of them.
I will sell. Okay, I will sell 6 of them.
Very good. Let me just get the coin out. She gathers it up from their chest under there and brings out 180 crowns for you.
Yay.
Yeah, these are nice, very nice little things.
Yes.
I will take them. She stows them away. And that is all you can interest me in right now?
Yes, I believe everything else. Well, actually, I take that back. I have these. I'm going to take off that ring. I have the bronze ring with the tiny jewels in it. Would you be interested in this?
That is pretty, and I wouldn't mind buying it, but I have a kind heart, and I know someone who would like it better, and to be honest, probably pay more for it. Which, if you go across the square and up a little bit, you'll find a little place called Flynn's Faceted Fineries, and he's a jeweler, very into that kind of thing.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I like him, or else I would have taken it off your hands.
Well,
I'm
thank you.
looking at the things in the barrel. Yeah,
Yeah.
what are these exactly?
Oh, those are turtles.
Okay.
Fished recently, just off the coast. The type that swims here a lot.
Are they for what in particular?
You well know that they are consumed in soups and stuff a lot in this area.
These are very good, Wareth. Why would you ask such a dumb question? Of course you eat them.
Of course, silly me.
Turtle soup.
Yeah, how much are these here?
Each turtle, 2 silver.
How many do you think of you we would need to feed the crew?
Oh,
Give them to
probably,
breakfast.
it's matters how they're prepared exactly, but one turtle will probably do 2 to 3 people.
Each turtle's about, near to the.
They're chunky boys.
Yeah, they're pretty chunky boys.
I was expecting
They're not like little turtles.
Yeah,
I was expecting little hamburger-sized turtles in the
Like
barrel, and they're all
this.
swimming around.
This big. It's a really big barrel.
Okay. Then the next thing I was expecting them is to be stacked like this in the barrel.
It takes up this whole corner of the shop, and they still are kind of, you see them kind of rolling around on top of each other in here too. So there's a good amount of turtles, and they're pretty big.
Silver and could feed a lot of people.
Is that something we should do, View, or is that?
Well,
you think they would feel like we're requesting too much? Here, make us this stew. Make us turtle stew.
I don't really know if I trust our cook to be able to make this well, as I know it, a phonic meal, the turtle stew, or there's the way that I like to do it.
Sure.
Yeah, it would really be. I just don't know. I don't think I trust him to do it the way that I know. I could buy us one of these turtles and maybe some of the spices and stuff like that I need. Other ingredients we might go see if we can't find. And then I could prepare it for us the way that I at least know.
Trust you to cook?
Yeah, I'm not an absolute bachelor. I'm living the life, but I have cooked before. I've cooked fancier dishes than just a fish on a stick up against the fire, or pieces of meat, or bread. I know how to do some things.
Whatever you want to do.
Well, I mean, do you want to try a phonic meal, or do you not want to try? I guess it's a Kazwindish.
I think we should let him do it since we're in his home country, and yeah, who knows when we'll get another chance for an authentic Kazwinic soup.
I'm not sure how much of that actually sounds appealing, but sure.
It's gonna be better than if I cook for you.
I have no doubt of that.
How did we ever catch how long? Mirwin, you would probably know. How long were we planning on being at this port? Overnight, maybe?
Someone is not paying attention.
I'm looking at I'm looking something up real quick.
I know exactly how long we'll be here, and I'll tell you in a minute.
Well, actually, you hadn't said how long you planned to be here. You just said we're making port and see what to see what to make port and have a solid home base for a night. I think you at least said a night.
Okay. Well, if you want to, Bew, I'll eat it. If you cook it, I'll eat it.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Oh, there it is. And actually, you are shocked to find that over nearby, for some reason this didn't catch your eye before, you see a basket. Within it are some small orange peppers that you recognize as peppers from Fawn's Vine. And there's a good handful of them in there.
So I carefully pick a turtle. It's the one I want.
I can get the cage for that if you want. Wait,
Oh, I was just going to put him on his back. He wouldn't go anywhere.
I've got a little. I've got the crate you can put him in.
Oh yeah, that works too.
Put him in a crate, Bew, for God's
Yeah.
sake.
She fetches a wooden crate and says, "Just put them in."
You know, if they're too, help her put it. You know, the way that we would always do it. If they got too like rolly, or if they were about to get back up, you'd take a couple of stones, and you'd put it each side, and then what are they gonna do?
Well, it can do that, but I don't know. This is the way we usually do it for customers. It seems you have some experience, but I'll do this anyway. She takes a couple of nails and bam, down in the box and hands you it sealed up.
Cool. I'll pick up a couple of those peppers. Are there fresh produce here? Onions, potatoes?
There are, you see some potatoes in some what are burlap sacks, but they're labeled as heavy potatoes. There are some onions as well.
I get 2 of each, unless they're sold by bulk.
Yeah, there's a grocery store sized sack of potatoes and onions.
Now this is a long shot. Do you have any goat's milk?
Goat's milk. I do not, but there is a man on the other side of town who raises a few goats, and he's not a formal shop, but he will sell off his milk sometimes.
Okay.
The name is Lothbrook. Lothbrook. Ask for him. Well, if I could remember where his house was. Well, look for the house with lots of goats. If you happen to be passing through town, it's lots of goats. Knock on the door and say that Astrid told you that you could buy his milk. He'll know what it means.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that would be kind of hard to miss. How much do I owe for all these things?
Oh, we've got the peppers, we've got the onions, the turtle. 2 gold.
Yeah, no
For
problem.
all of it.
Fork
Thank
over
you.
2 gold.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And remember Lothbrook, and for that lovely ring, you can go and sell it off to Flynn. Flynn's Faceted Fineries.
I will do that. Thank you very much.
Put away all the things in my bag and carry the cage.
Have a lovely day.
Thank you.
You stroll out back into the square, and a light snow has begun to fall.
Oh.
The streets, the cobbles and such beneath your feet getting a little bit muddy.
Yeah, it's going to be such a traditional meal with the snow and the cold weather and a piping hot bowl of stew. It's going to be great.
Roll perception checks.
Uh-oh.
Man, I'm not doing great today. 8.
14.
You guys are walking along, presumably heading wherever you're heading. But Mirwin, you hear something weird. You guys pass by a couple of city guards leaning up against a building, smoking pipes. Kind of lean their spears up against the wall and kind of just shooting it. And one of them, you hear this, Mirwin, says, "Yeah, I heard it just yesterday. Gustav told me, and I believe him because I have it on good authority that he was sober last night." And at this point, you two kind of hear the trail end of that. He says, "Anyway, so the spy breaks out and slips away in the dark, and apparently he had help on the inside. Now, if he gets back to his garrison somehow, could be quite bad for Caswin, as if things aren't bad enough already." The other one goes, "Yeah, it is going to be a long winter at the Twins now, with the Western Isle fallen to Oslikov. Well, at least we're all out here, am I right?" "You're right."
Hmm.
My dog threw up on the carpet last night. Helga was so mad. She had just cleaned it.
Oh, Lord.
Does the Western Isle mean anything to Beale?
Yeah, it really does. So the two isles of the Twins off the west coast of Kazwin have been heated territory between Kazwin and Oslikov for a while. And now it sounds like things have really, really heated up because he stated that the Western Isle of the Twins had fallen to Oslikov. And that is unprecedented.
Well, with this new information, I continue on to Flynn's fine philanthropy, filius, fillets.
I file it away
Alice?
in my mind palace.
Okay. What do you do with this information, Bu? You catch it as you're passing along, and it's something that's it's definitely familiar information to you, new information, but a familiar situation. And it's definitely it's not alarming.
Yeah, I mean, Beale is dealing with it. I think a little bit silently.
Yeah. So you continue. You continue across the square and up. Oops, oh, that's not my map. Across this little square, her shop is right about where the M in Vormaden is. And
Right up on the docks.
And his is where that Y-shaped interchange is, just past it.
Mm-hmm.
And you find that it's a nicer looking shop. And outside, above the door, is painted the words, "Flynn's Faceted Fineries," in a fancy curly font.
I go in.
Within, you see an aged gnome sits at an expansive desk. He's got a jeweler's loupe in hand, inspecting the quality of a small gemstone. Shakes his head, sets it aside, picks up a new one, begins to inspect it. It's a gentleman, old gentlemanly gnome. Spectacles, beard, much like this old fellow. He doesn't really take notice of you as you walk in, but as you close the door, you see to your right on the wall is up against the wall is a very, very large orc on a stool. He's muscle bound. He has this heavy bladed sword unsheathed across his lap. He's reading a book. Looks up, eyes you as you enter.
I nod over to him, at him. No,
Looks back down. This desk at which the gnome works is littered with small whetstones, tiny hammers and tinker's tools, files and such. There are more gemstones scattered about, some in neat rows, some in messy piles, some halfway fit into what will eventually become jewelry. There are several glass display cases in the store as well, which is the main feature taking up the center of the shop. These things showcase everything from earrings to lockets, magnifying glasses, rings, necklaces, spectacles, all of very fine make. He still doesn't even. It seems as if he doesn't even notice you walk in.
well, I'll just walk up to him and say hello.
Oh, all right, me lovers. How are you all today?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Oh, Gart Lush.
I see.
Can I do you for?
I take the ring off and show it to him. Would you be interested in purchasing something like this?
Well, that is right top. I think that I would take it.
How much would you pay for it?
Oh yes, pay. Of course, paying. I pay.
I'm glad to hear it.
I'll pay 100 gold.
120.
Okay.
Does Worth think this is a good deal?
Make an insight check.
Oh, goodness. I rolled a 1.
You think it's probably a fantastic deal.
Deal.
All right, very good. You were trying to haggle me there a little bit. I mean, Arca, he says to the orc. I wouldn't ski with you. Here's your gold. Fishes it out. 120. There you are. Can I do you for anything else?
Good amount of money there, Worth.
Yes. Quite happy. I don't believe so.
Where be all from anyway?
Yeah. From Kazwin originally. We were just off exploring a little bit. Came back with some fancy things like that.
I do love fancy things.
Yeah.
Certainly.
We unfortunately for you just offloaded them at our last stop.
Oh.
Sorry.
More like this?
Oh, much, much nicer.
Where might I acquire those things that you've just sold off that are much nicer than this? Nicer than this. This is quite nice.
Yeah, we were
Don't
just
suppose it was the next town over.
No, it was several days away. It was
I tell him the name of the island that I clearly remember and the name of the town.
Oh, piff. That's far.
A bit.
Well, do off with you then.
Bye.
Yeah, sorry. Goodbye.
Hey,
Anything?
hey, all those weird things I just said are real things that Cornish people say.
I was trying to figure out the accent. But I was like, well, that's
I
not
looked it
quite
up.
Welsh, and that's not Irish. That's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now watch as we get over to Oslo Cove, and Nick speaks German or Russian.
It's going to be interesting.
The orc again
York again.
flickers his dark eyes up at you.
I flicker my whatever color eyes I have at him.
What color are your eyes?
Real
there a-
manly.
Manly colored.
Probably not. They're probably
What's
quite
the
effeminate.
edgiest eye color?
Black.
Black is my soul. You-
Black as those eyes they were.
You've probably got brown eyes, I imagine.
I think I have it written down somewhere. It's probably brown. And
They
do
were
elves
once
or half
blue,
elves have normal?
But because I was angsty, they turned gray.
Turned gray.
A deep charcoal. Gray.
What color are your
I
eyes,
think
Mirwin?
so.
What?
What color are yours?
Mine
My
are gray.
eyes reflected my soul
What was that?
and became a dark
Gray.
gray.
Mine
Hers
are
are gray?
actually gray,
Hers are actually gray.
and I have red hair,
That's awesome.
but no beard.
No, definitely not. Where do you guys head next?
So should we look for goats, Mr. Moneybags?
Yeah, why don't you two go look for goats? I'm gonna go look for more information about what we overheard those guys talking about earlier.
Oh yeah,
I'm
sure.
gonna go to try to find a pub and see if I can't, I don't know, eavesdrop a little.
Yeah. I suppose we'll meet you at the pub, whichever that one is. Maybe the one closest to the docks.
Yeah,
So
whatever's
that we do.
whatever's closest.
I'll I'll get some like cooking stuff.
Sure.
And I guess we could head out and go cook. Oh yeah, I should probably tell you. I was thinking that maybe we should go like camp out,
Huh?
like tent and round stones of fire. What is it called? You know, a fire, a bonfire. Bedrolls.
Worth isn't quite sure how to, if he wants to do this or not, because he likes beds and being inside structures.
Make a persuasion check.
He's trying to persuade you.
Oh, it's not great. It's gonna come out to like 10. Am I good at persuading?
I mean, it's not a. It doesn't seem a terribly
9.
displeasurable idea.
I keep trying to figure out if I have to fight because James would be like, "Yeah, let's do that. That sounds fun." Worth is supposed to be like, city guy. He used to be a prince and doesn't want to rough it. He wants fancy things and to be clothed in luxury.
Then role play it out for me.
And Ian wants to go over there into the bed. I don't want to go cook a meal off of what he can just kind of find around.
Yeah. I just gotta keep that in my brain. Do you want to go camp out? We have perfectly good beds on the ship, and they're out of the elements.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But we are in Casvin, and it's starting to snow, which makes it beautiful outside. And
Makes it cold outside.
yeah. It makes it awesome. You can really be free in this kind of weather. It's cold and beautiful and lovely, and what else needs to be said, really?
You wanted adventure.
I want adventure
Is it
that
an
results in money, and gold, and power, not frostbite and
Yeah,
But we sleep on the boat every day or
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, it would be a
Fine.
good. Yeah, if you want to sleep in a room or on the boat, that is fine. But I think that at least for cooking this meal, I should go out and do it on the fire, like is almost tradition.
I'll come eat with you, and then go back to the nice warm boat.
Yeah, okay, that's fine with me. It's pretty drafty on that boat, anyways. So it's almost like you'd be outside, anyways. So
Almost,
yeah,
except not.
okay, we'll go get your information. I'll go get some milk.
Okay.
I look for goats.
Worth, you head off toward the tavern, which you saw on your way over. It was it's a place across from the first shop, right around where the A and the D in Vormaden are. And she said, somewhere over on the other side of town, and she indicated the eastern side of town where there's lots of goats. So
All
you
the
two,
goats.
you two walk through the snow, which begins to fall a little heavier as the afternoon begins to go on. Tread through the city streets as people dart about doing their daily business. Small children playing games, chickens blopping about, dogs barking, and such as the lively town goes on. And make perception checks, please.
Hey, I'm glad this perception check is for something so meaningless as stew, because that is a 20, not natural.
Mine as well.
Dang. You both pick up on the sound of goats.
I rolled a
The-
1 again.
The sound of goats are just so, like, you can hear them really well. It's strange.
There's
There's
like a lot of
definitely-
goats around here.
A good concentration of goats coming from a house like directly east of you, maybe a block or two.
It's like the acoustics are specifically designed for goats.
Must be. Maybe that's why they're so popular here.
Yeah, or something.
And you did not need a check to find the tavern since you
thank
saw it on
goodness.
your way past. Yeah, that's okay that you got a bad check. But you guys find there is a nice house. It's one of the sod grass-topped houses that's built back a little bit into the countryside. And beside it, there's a large pen where there's a good 10 goats, varying whites and grays and browns.
Mirwin, that's a lot of goats.
That is a lot of goats.
That's like a lot of goats. Can you imagine just taking care of 10 goats? That's a lot of goats.
That is a lot of. I don't want to take care of that many goats.
He's got to be absolutely laden down with milk and just begging for people to take milk off his hands.
There's a little outbuilding you see as well behind there, into which some of the goats are crowding now. It's almost like a small barn to shelter from the wind and the snow.
Go knock on the door. Go up to the main door.
What are you looking at, Bella?
Just a minute. You hear someone say. And a minute later, a shortish, kind of portly man opens the door. Hello, you all. Good evening.
Hello.
What are you?
I am looking for Loughbrook.
I am Lothbrok.
Awesome. That is good to hear. I only come to you because Astrid at the general store sent me.
You must be here for milk.
Yeah, I am. I'm looking for milk, and if you have it, any cheese?
I've got good cheese as well. Yeah, she
Yeah?
sends people my way sometimes. That's fine with me. How much will you want?
Oh, I don't need a lot of milk. Only enough. I would say.
I sell it by the bottle full, about this size.
Yeah, I'll take one of those, and then
3 liters.
I'm not going to ask exactly for what I need. Just give me one of each. One
Okay.
thing of milk and one thing of cheese. I'll
Wait,
make
dear.
do with whatever else. I'm sorry?
Wait here. And without waiting, he shuts the door again.
Slams it in our face.
You hear him tramp back inside.
Yeah, well, he's not going to invite us in. We are just customers.
and returns in a few moments with a with a like a growler-sized thing of milk and some butter packaged in some cloth.
Some cheese.
Nice. Cheese, yeah, not butter. Yeah, butter, cheese.
Butter cheese.
Packed in cloth and twine, and he hands them to you.
Yeah. How much do I owe you?
5 silver.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thank you very much, and I'll hand him a gold. I'll hand the turtle off to Mirwin, just kind of offhandedly, and then transactionally hand him a gold, and hold on to the things. And if he tries to give me change back, I'm just like, my hands are full.
I appreciate it. I'll have to thank Astrid especially for sending you all my way.
Yeah, no worries.
Enjoy your time here.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh yeah, I should mark off.
He heads back inside, you sensing that his opinion of you has improved since you opened the door.
Look, will remember that.
We'll remember that. And Worth, you approach the Lemon Cat Tavern.
The lemon cat.
And it's got a picture on the sign of an interestingly artistic cat whose back is shaped like a lemon rind, and he's got a tail and a head, but it's
Is this the Keswinick version of a potato cat?
it's sort of like that.
It is very much inspired by Nyan Cat, where his body's a lemon. James just spilled all over himself.
Oh, you did, didn't you?
Wait, here's a lemon cat. Can you see him?
Let me see.
That's beautiful. Oh boy.
Okay then.
You duck inside as the wind kind of starts driving a little bit of the snow into your face uncomfortably hard. And within is a nice little place. There's a fire pit in the very center of the tavern. Around it are a few benches where people sit drinking and some singing songs and playing instruments. There are mostly human and orc. There's a couple of halflings sitting around. Behind the counter, there's a kind of a slender, youngish male orc who's currently just kind of bussing around behind the counter.
I'll walk up to the counter.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Can I get you?
I'll have I hear mead is good here, and you have good mead, or what do you recommend?
Yeah, we have good meat. You've not from around here, I take it?
Oh, from all over the place. We're traveling through.
Sure, I can get you a meat. Ducks behind. Goes to a keg. Fills up a tankard for you. Sits it down. 1 silver.
I plop down a silver.
Thank you.
Um,
Starts going about his business again.
I go back. I'm gonna try to find like a corner or someplace where I can put my back up against the wall and
Yeah. There's a vacant
Watch
corner
people.
table. It's like it's just made for rogues to sit their backs into.
yeah.
Extra stool, you can put your feet up. Just kind of look out at the tavern. Sip your mead. Make a perception check.
Well,
Nothing happens for a little while. You don't see anyone too interesting or too information laden right now. Sit about half hour. Make another check.
23.
That's good. With that check, about this point, one guy walks in. Looks like he's pretty beat, and he's wearing a guard's uniform.
Mm.
He's doesn't have his weapon with him, or no spear or anything. He's just got a knife at his side, but he's wearing the uniform, the tabard and such, and the mail and stuff still on. He plunks down at the table and calls over to a serving girl.
Oh, I want to go up to the table and
He stretches.
I want to tell the girl that his drink's on me. Always take care of the guards.
Good.
Fine service.
Your drink, my drink is on you. Why?
Oh, always got to take care of the guards. That you guys do a heavy work and often thankless.
You
Just
know,
want to
not
make sure
very,
you know that you are appreciated.
You know, it's great to hear someone say that because today was my first day on the job. You know, and some of the older guys are a little impatient, and then we go and we deal with the problems around the town, and then the people that are disputing with their neighbors and things, and it's just no fun at all sometimes. I mean, the pay is okay, but afterwards I am just so tired, and I've got to sit down here, have a bit of a drink, and thank you for saying that. That is the first really appreciative thing I've heard all day.
Of course. There's got to be even more tense after, it's got to have everyone on edge.
What's that?
Oh, you know what they said. I've heard about the Western Island.
Oh, the war. Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the war it's not going great. That's what they say, at least.
Yeah. What they say.
The drinks arrive, and he
I hear there's every day you hear more rumors. There's spies everywhere.
I'll tell you, I've heard that those Lagovian spies are real scary people.
Yeah.
And that they like to send them all over the place, so that you never know where they are.
Yeah.
It's spooky, and I don't know. Who? My name is Bryn, by the way. What's yours?
Wareth.
Good to meet you, Wareth. Drinks his mead more. Actually. Oh, no.
Crazy to think what could happen if those spies got any information, got it somewhere. What could happen to this place?
It could be really bad.
Send shivers down your spine.
Yes, it does. I mean, we're all the way out in the east, so a lot of the guys say that they're not as scared here, but I think that could really go bad if they were to, it's like office. They've got some meat behind them and things, and now what with the one that escaped? Nope, nope, I didn't say anything.
Oh, of course not. Of course.
He clams up.
Here, how's your drink?
It's actually very good. Good meat in this town. Drink some more.
How about are you ready for another round?
I wouldn't mind that. First days are tough, on jobs. I'm sure you know. How that is. Yeah.
I've had my fair share of first day on the job. It can be rough.
Calls over another round.
Absolutely. Another drink for my friend here. Make it a double.
Oh. Certainly, sir. Drinks arrive. He drinks and without hesitation just gulps. Feeling pretty
Yeah.
good about tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think that we're gonna catch him.
Yeah.
No, maybe we're not going to, but at least we can.
What do you think? Where did he come from?
Like I would probably came from Oslikov because he was an Oslikovian spy. Because they busted a ring of them around here a few weeks ago. At least my colleagues told me that they were coming around, and they caught the one, and he knows things about our naval formations, and if that he was waiting for his judgment from the Thane, but he broke out before it could get delivered. And they say that somebody in the guard force helped them to get out. Like, what craziness is that? With like someone in the prison block, the jail block, let him out. Is what they say. It looks like.
It just goes to show you can never be too careful. You never know who you're talking to.
And then the two disappeared together.
Any idea what sort of information he had? Oh, I guess you said
naval formations. He really had the naval formations. Gunnar knows much more about this than I do. If you really want to know about it, he's the captain of the guard.
So you like to drink too?
Gunnar? No, I don't actually. I don't know.
Well,
because
I tell you, after all this meat, I've got to go off to the drain some information myself.
Oh yeah, me too.
So I go off to the bathroom.
Nice to meet you, Barber.
You too. You stay positive. You stay strong out there.
I think I will.
All of Caswin's dependent on you.
Are they? Oh, I don't know about that. Ooh, that's a lot of pressure.
You can do it. I believe in you.
I think I might need another.
And now I want to sneak out of the pub.
You easily sneak out of the pub without him noticing you.
Bump into Warith. I've got a big cooking pot, salt and pepper inside, a knife.
He's just emerging from the tavern. It's evening is just beginning to set in.
Hey, Warith?
Well, let's go cook your turtle.
You've been pre-gaming. I smell meat on your breath.
Yeah, it's all part of the job.
All right.
I'll tell you all about it.
Yeah. Okay. I think that we should go that way. I saw like a little bit of a forest, and that might give us some place to camp.
Yeah, south of town, you observed quite a massive forest land in this vale that heads southward down into Caswin, past the borders of the town, which this town is unwalled. Okay. And fairly isolated, though there is a road running south and down onward to the next village.
Look around for not exactly a campsite, but maybe where there's already a fire pit.
Make a survival check.
Hecky to Becky.
This is as you begin to exit town to the south. You're going uphill and following the road. Then the terrain begins to level off as you look for a place.
I rolled 13.
11.
13, 11,
and
and
supposed to be doing. What am I doing?
Make a survival check.
Sorry. 12.
All together, kind of looking around, you find what looks to be a place that's used by travelers fairly often for camping and upon travels. It's a little ways out of town, but it's in a clearing. It looks like it's relatively safe an area, and there's remnants of there's stones around where the fire has definitely been built before.
This is the spot. Yeah. Plop down all the materials.
I
Where's
want to
the-
have. I want
make
to
a
have a look
fire?
around just to see if the spies are near us. Are they there? And we
You can make an investigation check if you want to peruse the area while they're getting this stuff set up.
sure. I rolled
Okay.
10.
You don't spot anything alarming at all. I mean, you
Okay.
see there's some small animals and stuff. There's no crazy.
You don't see anything
Nothing
alarming at all.
That's alarming.
Worth some firewood, wouldn't you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're able to collect some
That's
firewood.
of course what I was doing.
I'm trying to make kind of a thick chowder, turtle chowder. So start the onions out, get them fragrant. Hopefully I grabbed a knob of garlic.
What's a cook's utensils check?
Oh, isn't there a?
That's a thing.
It is. I looked it up once because I was like, I need to do a guy that can cook, and then
Ian just made chowder, so he has a very good idea of
Ah.
how to make chowder. It could be survival. It also could be, well, yeah, it's kind of a wisdom skill.
I've been using survival to catch a lot of stuff pertaining to nature, and I feel like I'm okay with that.
It's
If you are,
yeah, I feel personally that it's a wisdom skill since cooking is kind of a less of I know what these things are intelligently and more
Yeah.
how to put the things together. It's not dexterous.
yeah. There's
It's not
therefore
about strength.
since survival is a wisdom skill, I would put it under that.
Oof. It's a phonic dish. Do I have advantage?
Yes.
how bad was that first roll?
Well, the second one was worse. So
What was the roll?
7.
So there's a little bit of burn on the bottom of the pot, but it's not your fault. It just happened. But the rest of the the stew actually comes out pretty tasty. There's a fleck of burned bit a little bit in some of the bowls, but it's easily enough shrugged off.
It's my favorite die, and it's just forsaken me.
Oh. But overall, you guys come out thinking that that wasn't a bad idea.
I threw it over my shoulder jokingly, and it rolled a 17.
It's mocking you.
That's how it is. It really is mocking you. Bastard dice.
Yeah, so after the onions and the garlic are fragrant, you add the milk,
Mhm.
and you add the potatoes and get them cooking, and then you would have already prepped the turtle meat by kind of grilling it and browning it on the side, and then you add the cheese in last with the turtle meat, and the peppers in right after the potatoes, and
Oh, that
that would
sounds
be
good.
the stew.
I'm craving turtle chowder right now.
Turtle.
I'm craving it hard. That sounds good.
Mhm.
So that you have finished your meals and are kind of just sitting around in your campsite now. The darkness has just fallen. What would you like to do?
Yeah, this is
Um,
except for whatever that was. I think the turtle was off or something like that. Everything else is perfect.
Not bad.
I open the mead and I start just drinking from the bottle.
Oh, it tastes like home.
It's not being passed around.
Well, Ward doesn't want it now.
You don't offer and they don't ask.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Mhm. Yeah, this is the air is different, if I can say it like that, and it makes sense. I know that like all the air is air and there's no boundary lines necessarily one way or the other. There isn't like purple air here and green air here, but I certainly can tell the difference now that we are back on Kazwinig shores, and it's not exactly right. This doesn't smell exactly like home, but we're in the right neighborhood, I would think. And there's something comforting, at least to me, about that.
Every place has its own quality, taste, and smell in the air.
Yeah. I don't know if that is that this appeals much to you, Earth. I know that you prefer your cities and your comforting beds and stuff like that.
Lots of places to hide.
Yeah,
Lots of pockets to pick.
yeah. And you certainly don't like the cold, I know. But this is good for me. This is good for me.
Well, I guess at least some good has come out of this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I am sleeping out here tonight.
And with that, I get up and head back to the ship.
Okay. Yeah. That's all you guys discuss. And Mirwin, do you do anything interesting?
Mirren, you can head back to if you want.
No, I'll stay here.
So you arrive back at the Larkspur, make your bed, head to sleep in the Mirwin and View sleep in the forest of Caswin for the night. Nothing dangerous occurs as morning dawns.
Roll survival checks.
With disadvantage.
Roll
Let's see if
saving
you
throws.
survive.
And you awake to a bright morning sunrise. And Wareth, you wake with your natural clock a little bit later than them.
Excellent.
So you two, upon waking up, well, the day is yours. What would you like to do?
Pack up and clean up and head back to the ship. Yeah, Mirwin?
Yep. Sounds good.
You march through town. The freshly fallen layer of snow and accumulated an inch or so, and your footprints are some of the first to trod through it. And you arrive back at the ship about the time that Wareth is waking up.
Mm-hmm.
And you sit up in your bed and who do you see come down but me and Mirwin?
Well, you survived.
We survived without you.
It was very good. It
Surprise.
was very, very good.
It was so refreshing.
Yay for you.
That's right.
I guess I want to go find Graziella or Nikolai, whoever I come across first.
You come across Brecken first, actually, who is right nearby.
Mm.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Oh, I tell you, it's nice sleeping again on solid ground. I mean, I know we've been saying it a lot, but you know how you get after you've been on the ship for a while, the world starts to kind of rock a little bit. Whew, I had that.
Did you sleep in town today?
Oh, we still slept on the ship. Visser and I did go into town for a bit, though. It's a nice place.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not a bad little town. I've not been in Caswin for a while, and she's never been here. She's still asleep. I quite think she had a day.
Hmm.
Hung out at the tavern for a bit. Had run about town, shops and whatnot.
Speaking of, did you hear anything interesting in town?
What sort of interesting? Your sort of interesting?
Yes.
Well, then, no, I don't think I have.
Apparently, there were some Oslakovian spies in town, and one of them had been captured and escaped, and was helped to escape by someone in the among the guards.
Okay, that's a lot of things you just said there.
Yes.
What?
Also, apparently things have not been going well for Keswin while we've been out of touch with civilization.
In what way?
Oslakov has taken the Western Island, the twins.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Do you are you currently in grasp of how bad of news that is?
The world has been thrown into chaos, and Oslakov might be gaining the upper hand.
That means that all of you over here. He gestures to you, Bu and Mirwin.
Yeah, what is up, Reckon?
Has he talked to you about this?
Not, I mean, I think we all
Do you
heard
all
the
know?
same thing.
I would think I would have told them about it while we were eating.
Bu, I'm sure that you know that this is colossally bad news.
Yeah, it's encroaching very close to Kazwin, and the fact that Ozilkov is making any sort of headway at all is terrible. There's
That area has been a least light contest for years. But the thing is that whatever push Ozilkov has made, they have been turned back by the superior naval might of Caswin. And if the Western Isle has fallen, it means something's changed.
You think
And
they're
it's
getting help
changed
from
very
somewhere?
recently. That's possible.
Someone flying around on a wyvern?
That's also one of many possible explanations. That would be very bad news for us.
well, do you think that he's Ozilkovian?
He doesn't have to be. His interests could simply align with theirs.
The island that we found that had was it Kazwinik? And then there was talk about an Ozilkovian spy. They were talking about naval patterns there too. So at least we know about that.
I mean, Ozilkov does get around with their spies. That's kind of one of their things.
Yeah, and also that whole area was wiped off the map. It was just simply a naval base on that island, but all the same, that whole island was wiped off the map.
What's that now?
Yeah, you remember the fort that we found? It was just an off island.
Oh,
Back
yes.
before we got to the Isle of Giants?
Of course. Oh, there's been so many things going on that. Yeah, they have. Oh, that means that that was even further east.
Yeah,
That means it seems like they've got Caswin surrounded. At least in information and spies. They might be making a military push on the west, but who knows what in the world they're doing around the rest of the country.
And after Caswin, what's next?
I mean, Ozlikov's expansionist. Expansionists don't exactly have limits, do they?
No. Expand or die, and expand until you die.
That's very a succinct way of describing Ozlikov. They've always been expansionist, depending on who the czars are. They go at a faster or slower pace. It's just a matter of time. It was just a matter of time until someone over there became powerful enough to start to take the twins. And then once the twins are taken, that's a way directly into Caswin. This is not good.
Yeah, you know.
What did they, what was what? Sorry, tell me what you know about that spy again.
I know. Well, the information I got from a drunk guard is that he had information about Caswin naval formations.
And he escaped from here.
Okay. Yes.
Did he say when they escaped?
Probably. Was it yesterday?
Mirwin, you remember
Yes, I
That-
remember.
the two guards you overheard speaking. You overheard these guys speaking yesterday afternoon. They said that he escaped the previous night.
So,
Okay, so not long then.
Hmm. He couldn't have gotten too far, but he could. I don't know which. I don't know the area, which way he would have went. Where
Did he say how we could we get any more information on this? I mean, you've got guild patches. That gives you some cred with guards.
it does. He mentioned the captain of the guard, such and such. We could try to get more information out of him. Offer some assistance.
It may be wise. It's up to you, but continue on north to the monasteries, or get information as much as because we could possibly get more information on the war and war effort
Mhm.
via the spy and his collaborator, if they could be located.
Sure.
Yeah,
But
we could.
it's up to your judgment. You're the ones with the patches, not me.
Yeah, we could do all that. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really seem to pertain to us and what we're currently doing. It would be
It
nice to
might.
know all of these things. I mean, yeah,
Any change in the balance of power could be quite significant to what we're doing.
then we just speak Kozlokovian then. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at the accents.
You have to roll the R's.
You
Kind of
have
how
to roll the R's.
roll the R's and kind of swallow your L's and such. That's how they talk, at least from the couple I've met.
Swallow
The
the
L's.
Worth starts in with his
swallow the L.
superior con man routine or whatever, and starts talking in the very hopefully much better than my Oslokovian accent. When we go into Oslokovian, you will be mute. You will say they chopped your tongue out.
Now you see, that's not bad right there.
Yeah, but how? I mean, yes, all that. How will I hide the fact that I have hairy legs and elk ears, and they know I'm a fun, and they
Are
know
there
I'm
no
from
fawns in
Kosovo.
Osloko?
No,
Okay then. Well,
not unless they're in the fighting pits or in chains.
okay. You can
Yeah,
be our champion, our fighter for the pits, or at least that's what we can tell everyone.
or we'll just avoid
Or you
all
can just
the
stay on the ship.
Ozokovians, and it'll be fine. We just don't
Anyway.
have. We just won't go to Oslokov. We just won't go
Either
there.
way, see what this guard captain has to say.
All right, I head off and do that.
All right, you head back into town today, and today's a frigid cold wind, straight off the frozen sea, and I need to pee again. Yeah.
That's just kind of tight.
Yeah. All right. So you all head back into town, and where do you go?
Yeah, well, you are the one with your nose to the grindstone, the one that knows the streets worth. I'm following you.
Yeah.
I am coming as well. I feel this pertains to me.
Yeah.
You are the brains of the outfit. Let's go.
I think that's Mirwin.
Yeah.
She's the brawn.
Yeah.
I amuse myself with my wit sometimes. Anyways, I just like to be abreast of what's going on, straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, I like the breast as well.
Well, should we go to the castle, or
There's probably
the
a
town guard
barracks
or the-
somewhere.
Captain of the guard.
look around for any sort of guard?
Make me a perception
Dice.
check, and anyone else who wants to make perception checks.
I'll roll a natural 20. I just did.
Ooh.
Nice.
I got a
That's
6.
that's the trick. I've got to say it.
I also rolled a natural 20.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
gonna roll a natural 20.
you're definitely sure that the barracks is up near the keep.
It didn't work when I did
This
it.
way. No? She rolled a 4.
Oh no. You got propped up by your teammates there.
This way.
It's because I'm too short. I can't see what's going on.
Just like IRL.
I'd be mad, but it's true.
You ever seen the top of the fridge?
Yes. When I sit on a chair.
I can barely see it, so I don't know.
So the town again slopes gently upwards, the streets carving their way up the hillside towards this larger leveled off hill where the palisade wall surrounds this modest keep of stone which rises up a good distance above the wall, and then the watchtower that is the tallest thing in the town by far. And you see a gate in the palisade, wooden as well, kind of operated by a gatehouse where there's cranks inside and such. The gate is currently open. It's during the daytime. People with business inside come and go, but there are guards in the towers and at the gate. But you see, with that roll, you notice as you're heading up the road towards it, the guard barracks is a separate building outside the wall. It's a simple kind of, regular cosmetic styled building, but it's got this kind of stone bricked walls, few windows, and there's a guard outside the front door.
That's where we need to go. I am certain of it.
As Ian falls asleep.
I'm getting there.
Oh.
Let's go.
You walk up toward the door of that, and the guard puts a hand up. All to all, what are you looking for?
We're here to speak to the captain of the guard.
And what is your business?
We represent the Redbane Adventurers Guild. We've come to offer our assistance and seeking information.
Well, the patch that is on the registered list, I believe. Yeah, we can get you in to see Gonar. He is inside. I'll take you in.
That
Sure.
is a
Most
very
welcome.
good call, Worth. I've completely forgot about flashing the patch.
So did I. I didn't think of it until
Like a
Brecken
second ago?
until Brecken mentioned it earlier on the ship.
Flash the patch. So you all four enter in. And in the barracks, it's a long hall.
Just surprised it worked here.
There are many beds and such lining the walls. There's various weapon racks and stuff. There's chests at the foot of each bed. You see a few guards lounging around. There are a few tables playing cards and such. And one guy stands up. He is a big guy, a burly man in light armor. He's got a braided beard with copper rings within, a completely shaved head. He's picks up and down a long axe with a dragon's head etched in the steel. And he says, "Hello, you all. How can I help you?" Ragnar, who are these folk? They're from the Redbane Guild, the Adventurers Guild. He says, yes, I know of it. Yeah, then, was is this?
We understand you have had a little problem with Oslakovian spies recently.
Where did you acquire that information?
We have ears all over the place. We hear things, rumors.
Fair enough. Yeah. But, who hasn't had a problem with those Ligovian spies every once in a while?
True. But not everyone loses them once they catch them. Quite
Not
so
everyone has collaborators in the ranks. Are you looking for money? Are you here for money? For in exchange for contracts?
I wouldn't turn it down. We're also seeking information, whatever information you might have about what the spy knew, his contacts, and where he could have gathered his information.
Yeah, I'll let you in on that. So, with a little while back, a good few days ago, we found out there was a group of them infiltrating in and out of town. We only managed to catch one of them. One other we killed. There are two others at large. This one we caught. We were waiting to send his judgment down, and the night before he was supposed to receive it, breaks out. He and his jailer gone in the middle of the night. Only
was
one way
the
that
jailer?
could have gone down. Just a jailer, man named Gustin.
How long had he lived here?
Gustin had been in the guard force for a good few years. I had never known him to be corrupt in any way. He has a family here in town. I'm surprised. I guess they must have fled in the night.
Could he be an
Worst.
infiltrator of some kind, or could he have been pushed, persuaded, bribed,
Well, that
forced?
with collaborators, it goes one of a few ways. Bribes are very common. Or there's sympathizers. Sympathizers in the guard often also happen, more often than you would hope to think that they do.
You mentioned he has a family.
Yeah,
Could they have been threatened?
I'm not sure. I can give you I can find his address, and you can go and check on them if you like.
Some people will do anything to keep their family safe, including putting them in danger.
That is, I suppose, true. It's not something we had looked into, but again, it all caught us quite by surprise. So we've focused our one day of efforts onto sending scouts out.
Do you know how they got their information?
We do not know. That is part of what we were going to try to get out of him. The sentence, the judgment was, likely going to be imprisonment, interrogation, until we at least know what he knows. But in order to imprison him, he has to receive the sentence of imprisonment. And then according to local law, we can keep him as long as we need, or until we get information out of him, then we can produce a new sentence if we say want to kill him or exile him or whatnot.
I see. And do you know which direction he fled?
Well, we did not find any boats having left. None were unaccounted for, so we believe that they fled south somewhere into the forest. It is possible they have a meeting point out there with the other 2 spies, or they could be headed to another town. The nearest, it's a couple of days walk from here. Maybe 3 days if the weather is very good, and it hasn't been great so far. So I don't think they could have gotten that far. Bastards.
Well, if we were to find them, how much would you pay?
Handsomely. For that kind of information, I'm sure you're versed with what's happening in the war.
Yes.
You know what damage it could do to us if he got back to his guys with that?
Yes.
Besides the fact that we want to know what he knows. He's a Ostlakovian spy. They know lots of things, valuable things. That's why they trained them so well, so as to not get captured. This was a rarity, you understand? It's easy to kill them. Well, not easy, but it's much easier to kill an Ostlakovian spy than it is to capture one.
Well, we'll look into this and bring whatever information we can find back to you.
Very good. You will be handsomely rewarded, and the Thane will be thankful. I'm certain, personally thankful, if you bring back this information.
It's always good to be owed a favor.
That it very well is. Now we will keep our men out and about, and here in town as well. If we hear anything new, we'll let you know. And if you find anything, if you are able to get any of these to us back alive, that would be worth a lot to Caswin.
All right. I leave.
I hope to see you soon again, friends.
See you. I really, as we're leaving, I really want to ask him if he'll say sweet roll for me.
Lost your sweet roll.
I don't get it. Okay.
That's a video game joke. Anyways, what would you like to do?
Actually, listening to this, the soundtrack for that, and it's pretty spot on.
I suppose we should let Graziella know that we're doing things.
Yeah, we really haven't hammered that out with them. What we were doing here, and how long we were going to be here, and all of that. I guess we were just kind of playing that fast and loose, right?
Yeah. Well, let's go talk to them and then make our next move.
You get back to the ship a few minutes later. And in fact, you run into Graziella very quickly. She's, I was just looking for all of you. What have you got up to?
We found some disturbing...
Don't tell me. You got into trouble already.
Not yet, but it looks like Caswin has got itself into trouble.
No, yeah.
That is a rumor I've heard. Tell me what are you doing here in town then?
Sports fest.
Yeah. We learned that, I don't know how much you've heard about the war, but apparently Caswin has lost the Western Island.
That is what's getting around now.
And there were a ring of spies here.
Oh.
They killed one of them, I believe, captured another, and a couple others were escaped. The spy that they captured has escaped, apparently with help from within the guard.
That's not great news. I assume you are all going to take on a contract as adventurers are wont to do.
It could help us out. If balance of power has shifted. Who knows? That jerk on the wyvern could have something to do with it. Anyway, we could use more information, especially the further west we go.
How long do you think we will be here?
Hopefully, no more than a few days, just to try to track the spy down. Of course, last time we said that it ended up being a month.
Understand me taking with that with a large heaping grain of salt.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
But that's okay. At least this time we are in port.
Yes.
Yeah.
No harm if you take a few days.
Well,
As quickly as we can.
yeah, we'll poke around and I know last time we said the same thing where we said we'll come back and talk to you, but then it kind of got off-railed. It's not a lot that we can
We
do.
could sit down into a magical forest and the deepest hole in the world. I don't see that happening this time, but we'll see.
Yeah, this is way more side quest than main quest.
Oh, you are so meta sometimes. She smacks you on the cheek.
All right then.
Do your thing. I love you all. Mwah.
I go get. I want to get some provisions. And I want to get Tinkerbell.
Ah, yes. You
gonna
descend
get
into
Comet.
the. You descend into the lower, the third deck where the animals are kept. You
And
see
I'm as fast as Tinkerbell, so
where your 3 horses are, Tinkerbell, Comet, and the unnamed one. And you begin to saddle them up, and that is where we will end tonight's session.
I pat the unnamed one and I go, one day I'll name you. That's not today.
Today is not that day. Lovely session, guys. You did really good. That was fun.